In this video, we're going to talk about competitor research. And competitor research gives you that opportunity to learn from the work that your competition has already done when making their website. And there's a really cool quote from The Art of War, which goes exactly like this, because you can see it on the screen. If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. And if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. And everyone knows how prolific the book, The Art of War, is. And these quotes are just amazing because they, a quote like this gives us insight into just how valuable, in the battlefield competitor research is. And, business is a battlefield and everything is a battle to kind of get more users, get more visibility, do something differently, and get more people to buy your product. But, the most important thing I think people often forget about competitor research is that not everyone is a competitor, but everyone is a competitor that you can learn from. So just because you're selling shoes or, you have a club that's a football club or you've got a service for washing houses, that doesn't mean that you can't learn from other people to get value from, what they're doing. So say you are a house washing company. Well, maybe there's a company out there that builds houses and they're amazing at it and they do just such a fantastic job. Everyone's talking about them. They've got a beautiful website. They seem to pop up no matter what you type into Google. Those are great people to learn from. And that's a great competitor that you can learn from. They might not be in competition with you, but you can still learn from them. So, there's three really important components to competitor research. The first one being, what's their website? Do they have a website? What pages do they have? What options do they have on that website? How do they talk about themselves and their business? What promises do they seem to make? And what improvements could you make about what they're doing? If they have a blog, what types of posts do they have? And, analyzing their website and seeing what they're doing really good and really badly is a great way to start to do some competitor research. And again, think about people who aren't in competition with you. What type of content do they have? How do they lay out their pages? What different options are they giving people? And how can you apply that thinking back to your own website so you can build something better, or something that's going to do a better job of converting people when they go from being a lead into someone that's trying to interact with your content and maybe looking to see whether they should be buying from you. The second really important component is search. And so, as we kind of discussed in one of our earlier videos, a website is not a visibility tool unless we're talking about SEO. And there's two types of SEO that's really important. There's branded SEO. So that's, if I type in your business name, how does your business show up? And then there's unbranded SEO. So that's, if I type in a keyword or a phrase, how does your website pop up? So, do they come up when you Google them? Do they appear when you Google the keywords that you think people might type into search engines to find them? Are there other places that you might search for them? Bing, are you searching? Can you search for them on Facebook? What are the other types of searches you could do for them? And how do they appear? And then there's social, and social's really important. Are they using social media? Do they use social media on their website? How are they using it? And how often are they posting to it? What types of things are they posting? And so, can you do this better? Can you do this differently? Can you engage with your customers or people that could be looking for your service better through your social media? And so let's start with the website. And I thought for the website, I would start with that shoes example because I thought it was really cool and it was really powerful. And I'm from New Zealand, so I searched feet conditions online or something really similar, and I came up with Shoe Talk Limited, and they're New Zealand's wider sized footwear shop. And I thought this was quite interesting, and it gave us an opportunity to have a look at some of the things we might look at on a website when we're doing some competitor research. So one of the first things that I saw was that they seem to have really good social engagement. They've got 1,000 likes on their Facebook. Their navigation up there is pretty busy, but it's got some options to it as well, and it starts to kind of paint a picture about about, the people actually use this product and service, people are interested in it. And at the next level, we've got, that navigation. And in that navigation, we've got some different pages and some different options that we could kind of consider. And if we were building a website about shoes, we could think, hey, what in this navigation is really important? What's drawing my eye? What type of things do I think I might want to search by? It's got some nice real estate there with a nice banner image, and you can kind of see shoes. The first thing you see on the website is shoes. So, it says shoe talk, and then there's shoes. So you're pretty confident that this has something to do with shoes. And, this is a really good opportunity for them to also promote a product that they're wanting to sell, or something else there. And then they're doing some other really interesting things on the homepage. So they've got a large sentence here that says, buy wide-fitting shoes for men and women online at Shoe Talk. And Shoe Talk sells shoes for wide feet with New Zealand-wide delivery available. So I wonder if this is about SEO for them, and they're really wanting to fit those keywords, wide-fitting shoes and buy wide-fitting shoes, and Shoe Talk sells shoes. So they're trying to hit some of those key phrases that people are going to be trying to search by. And they've also got some other stuff in here around, you can get it delivered in 2 to 5 working days. There's easy returns if something goes wrong. So, if you're going to be spending a lot of money on a new pair of shoes and you want to make sure they're going to get there quickly, you can kind of see if they're going to fit quickly, you can return them quickly, because, buying shoes online isn't an exact science. Then, they've got some options that they're starting to answer some key beliefs. And we're starting to see some really good things that we can probably learn from, and probably also some things that we can do a bit differently as well. So if we kind of look at another page, we click on women's shoes, and we have a look at what content they've got there. It's pretty content heavy up top. There's a lot of text there, and it could be hard to read, it could be easy to read. This could be really important for users looking for wide feet. And then kind of down the bottom, we've got these images of shoes, and this is kind of where you can go to purchase product. And when you click into a product, there's a product image, and you can kind of filter through, so you can probably get an idea if the style's right for you. There's some options around quantities and sizes and whatnot. You can add to the cart, you can see the price, and there's a description, and some interesting information there around, if you have purchased the shoe and you don't like it, you can totally return it in the original condition. So make sure you don't remove the tag and stuff, for a refund. We don't do credit, so that's cool. I know that if it doesn't work, if it doesn't fit for me, then I can return it. And then there was something else I saw really interesting on this website, and this is the type of stuff you're really looking for, right? And here's a blog that they've got, and the only way that I could get to this blog was by clicking up in a button up here in the top left. And I clicked into blog, and then I found this really interesting layout, and it's a bit weird. It's got some what looked to be maybe buttons, maybe links, maybe text. So I hovered over them, and it looked like I could click on them. And I kind of went into this blog that was quite interesting. I didn't really find it super helpful or super user friendly. So if I was going to create a website that helped people find shoes that fit wide feet, then one of my focuses would be on that education and that content and how it's presented in those blogs as well, which could be really, really valuable as a way to inform and share and let users share stuff about my product. So in terms of website finding, they sell shoes for people with wide feet. We know that there's lots of navigation items, some we may not have even expected. They make some assurances or promises on the homepage around delivery times and returns, and there was some hidden blog information, hits and tips across the site that might have been hard to find. So, it's some really good things is it's really clear who it's for. That's a real positive. It's definitely for people who want shoes for a specific condition or need. It's clear what they do. They sell shoes, and they sell them to people with wide feet, and you can buy it online. So the website does a good job in fulfilling that business need. They need to sell product, people need to buy product. Not everyone's located where they are, and people can buy them throughout the country. But there's improvements that we can totally make as well. As while the website fulfills a really clear business and user need, and it melds together quite well. There are pretty compelling opportunities for a competitor to improve on their online presence. So as I mentioned, a better blog, it was hard to find, it was hard to read, it wasn't really clear. A better content plan, a lot of that content was really long-winded. The photography is maybe a little bit dull, and improving this could help people find what they're looking for faster and easier, and actually improve, some of that verification that you're good and you're legitimate and you know what you're talking about, without, giving people a novel to read, and potentially even a nicer cart experience as well. So, from what we saw, it was a little bit hidden away. Are there other options that we could add to? Could we add some better quality listings? Larger images. There's probably a ton of stuff that we can kind of do in that place as well. So, in terms of website, I think that's a really good example of how you can kind of look at a website and start to think around, what are they doing? What are they doing well? What aren't they doing so well? And maybe what can I improve on? And maybe you don't just have to look at direct competitors as well. What's Nike doing? What's the Shoe Clinic doing? What are other websites that are well known or well branded doing that you could kind of use to build some kind of competitor awareness and do some competitor research? And so next we kind of look at search. Yep, search. This is really, really important. And search here, if we type in Shoe Talk NZ, we see they come up first, and we see they've got a good listing, they've got some options, they've got a brand in the search as well, they've got their Facebook there, they come up nice and early. If I type in shoes for wide feet, they come up first, so those keywords are really working. But there's other stuff there as well, like, look at this, 10 most comfortable and cute shoes for wide feet. That's a blog post there. And if you wanted to, beat the competition and have a look at what's going on here, you'd look at that blog post, and then there's some research shoes for wide feet options as well. So what's happening here? There's definitely content there that we can kind of look at and see if we can compete on. And obviously Nike's kind of up there as well, and I've got some information on shoes for wide feet too. So, there's some really interesting information and things that we can kind of get out of our search results as well to see, hey, what are other people doing? What are they posting? What are they talking about? Is this an opportunity for us to compete with Shoe Talk and kind of get above them? And also, if we jump into search, we can also search page speed insights and see how their website is performing. And we can see here that from a search perspective, they're already getting about 50%. So there's improvements that we can make not only on the content and what's being searched as well, but how our website is being read by Google. And if Google can see that our website says the same things and does the same things and maybe even does it better and faster, then we get another opportunity to kind of rank in front of those users. And definitely don't forget to have a look at that mobile experience as well. So what have we found from our search findings? Well, whether it's through a lack of targeted competition or length of time at the top or content, it's clear that they're doing something right from a search engine perspective. They're ranking really well with the top spot. Their results were pretty significant with a really nice business listing and some good page links in their listing, making that business feel really significant in the search. And that Google My Business listing had some really positive reviews. So it looked up to date. A physical location is always really good as a verification tool. So doing some really, really good stuff, but there are definitely some improvements, and it looks like there is a lack of competition for the store. And it also appears that other sites' blogs are appearing in the search before their blog is appearing, or I couldn't really see if their blog is really appearing at all on the surface. And as well, the mobile website, when running that through Google PageSpeed Insights, we saw that there's an opportunity to have a better performing website. So what could we do? Well, if we're going to get into that market, we can increase that competition. We can do some really targeted blogging, and we can improve that mobile experience. We can improve that whole experience, make it faster and kind of easier to use. So definitely some opportunities there. And then social. Yep, let's talk about social, because this is also super important. And these guys do an interesting job in their social. They've, under the About Us, if you click there, you can find some information about them. Their first call to action is to call now, so they want you to ring them. There's photos of women up there as well, so maybe they're kind of targeting mostly females for this product. the social verification, under community, they've got over 1,000 likes. That stuff's really, really good. They do some good posting on the website as well. It looks like it could kind of get some better engagement around this stuff, but it is informative. This is the sort of stuff that you definitely want to be pushing and posting, and they're hashtagging it, and that's looking quite good. So, bit of a lighter touch point around social. I mean, there's other places that we could look. We could also have looked on Instagram. I saw that they had a Pinterest as well, but they definitely have a strong social presence on Facebook with a lot of likes, and it looks like it gets pretty regular activity. So solid activity, lots of likes, and they're pushing out some good information. But one of the things that I kind of noticed between their website and their social media is they're a little bit different. The branding isn't very consistent. So they have, and the setup's not the best. So one thing that they could do is make sure that the first thing that you see when you kind of land on that social media maybe isn't necessarily photos of shoes down here, but some information or some recent posts. Can they configure their Facebook to deliver a better experience? Also, on top of that, the continuity between their website and their social as well. You could be forgiven for maybe thinking that they were different places. On the website, the logo's black, but on their social media, they've got this cartoon of this lady sitting down, and they've got, it's quite colorful. So, is there an opportunity to create a social presence that's more cohesive? And lastly, the call to action was call us now. But perhaps, if I'm using this as a verification tool, I probably want people to come across to the website and have a look at my products. So, should they really be driving people to their website as opposed to having people call them and use up their admin time? So definitely room for improvement there. As we can see, there's a ton of value that we can get out of competitor research. Already, we've found through search that we can identify competition and other ways of improving upon our competitors. We can see what they're doing really well. We know that we don't just have to look at our competitors. We can look at other people and see what they're doing really well. So in the next video, we're going to be talking specifically about our users and how we can, ask the right questions about them and who they are and what they're doing to create a better overall experience for those people.